Anytime you want.
Hey, welcome back to the Handlebar Garden. This episode, well, we're going to do a series on winter riding gear.
4 or 5 part?
Yeah, probably 5.
Okay.
This one's going to be on gloves.
Gloves?
Gloves.
You wear gloves?
Yeah, when it's about 40 or below. I learned my lesson on that a long time ago.
Alright, that's good. Hey, before we get into this video, or this topic, if you don't care, right over his head, or it might be over his face, be sure to like. Not his face, but hit like on the video.
Everybody likes my face.
Everybody likes it. And then somewhere right in here, be sure to subscribe where I put the bell. I'll put the bell right here.
Yeah.
Ring, ring, ring. And run on over to Facebook, about right here. Run over there and join a group. Might find a few things over there interesting, hopefully. Without further ado, I give it to Mike and we'll get this thing started.
Alright. These are, of course, they've got the big Harley logo on them and everything. These are my main gloves that I ride with. They're not super thick, so I can still feel the buttons and controls and everything. But they do knock a lot of the cold air off.
Yep.
One of the main reasons I got these are, I call them Gauntlet Gloves. I don't know if there's some kind of official name for it, but it's got the bigger cuff on it. So it likes to come over my jacket sleeve, so when I'm riding, that keeps air from going into my jacket.
That's always nice, right?
Yeah. Now these are a lot thinner glove. I think maybe I gave $30 for
I think
these.
you've had them a long time.
A long time. When they come way up
It
here,
was like,
and they
not. I was thinking
something from the 80s.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, these, the way they're made though, once you get 40 and below, these are not really much.
Right.
When they don't protect your fingers. They do a real good job of keeping the air
Oh, yeah.
out of your sleeve, but they don't do a whole lot for your fingers. Now, these work great. They're the Olympia brand, and I've had these for a long time. So this one here, yeah. Which it's thick on the inside, but you can't really feel anything.
Right.
I mean, you just
And look at that.
yeah, you got that little windshield.
It's a windshield wiper.
Yeah. Clean your glasses or your face shield or whatever. I don't know why they didn't put it on the right thumb.
Well, it's because you're throbbing.
Is that what it is? Don't want me to
Yeah,
slow
they
down.
didn't have cruise control back in.
Yeah, these are good thick gloves, but the thicker they are, the harder it is to feel anything. So I guess depending on what the temperature is,
yep, where you go.
and I'm sure there's a formula. If it's 40 degrees outside and you're moving at 65 or 70, it's going to make that wind chill.
If I'm not mistaken, 45 miles per hour drops 12 degrees.
12 degrees.
So that's
So,
if it's 60 outside and you're rolling 45, you're looking at 48 degrees, and so on and so forth. So kind of looked at, and I'm like Mike. You that's all I see Mike's got.
Yeah, I don't good glove. These, I guess I should have mentioned, they're about, I think they were on sale and they were about $70.
Yeah.
And it's really hard for me to come off money, so
Yeah.
that's why I don't own too many pair of gloves. I try to find something that works really good and stick with it till I wear it out.
Yeah. Well, myself, these little mechanic gloves, cotton mechanic gloves, that's my knock the chill off. And I've got arthritis in my fingers. And he was talking about thick gloves. As he's talking about them, makes my fingers hurt.
Yeah.
Because you can't bend them. So I use these, and for the most part. I mean, and then you start getting cooler.
Well, a lesson I learned on that, I was, at the time, which this was 15 years ago probably, where I was working was about 20 miles one way.
Right.
And I went out it was about 40 degrees, but there was no wind.
Right.
It actually felt good outside, and I thought about not even wearing a jacket. And I thought, no, I'll go ahead and grab my jacket. I get probably 6 or 8 miles from the house, and my hands are hurting. I actually got frostbite on my fingertips.
Yeah.
I stopped, and all I could find was those brown jersey gloves, which did not help.
Did not help. I'll tell you what I done one time with jersey gloves. I got to the bottom of the mountain, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I stopped at the store. I had another 20 miles to go. I stopped at the store and went over to a coffee pot. Put my hands on it, one of my digits up. I mean, that was a long time ago. Now I've got these here. These are Harley Davidson gloves. They were about $80 like yours were. Now mine don't, like Mike was saying about the Gauntlet, these, they come up a little bit and I can kind of pull them over the sleeve. So they're not too bad. These are actually pretty warm. That's usually my go-to glove. Almost, well, pretty much all winter long. And then I've got another little secret on that I'll share here in a minute. Now I've got these here, and actually Mike's wore these when we was out one time.
Yeah, they will make you sweat. If it's not just freezing cold, those will make you sweat.
Yeah. They say waterproof and all that.
Well, they'll hold water. When you sweat it stays.
But they're a true Gauntlet glove. But like I said, they get thick too.
Yeah.
Kind of on your fingers.
Which, I mean, that's what you got for the gloves to kind of be airtight.
Yep.
They've got the way they're made. I mean, it's sewed across the front, so it's got to be thick there to keep the air out. Which means the thicker it is, the harder it is to work any controls or anything.
So my wife has these little neoprene gloves, and she likes those. A lot of times she wears these and then puts another pair over them. But she likes these, and she's got some Harley Davidson gloves, and these are 2 gloves in one. You go in one side, and you go in through the bottom. And I can't remember now what one does and what the other does.
One is for like rain or something.
Yeah, I could.
And the other one is for, I guess, when it's cold. I guess the going in on the bottom side here is for the colder weather.
Right.
That puts more padding on top.
Right. So she wears those quite regularly. My wife has very cold hands. I mean, she's frigid all the time. Her trick to this, these gloves here are battery powered. And I have no idea if the battery's up on them. Yes. And you can turn it up. That's on 41 Celsius. Tells you how much battery you got. And you can turn them up and down. Exactly, I don't know.
And of course, the higher you turn it up, the quicker it's going to eat the battery.
Right. She absolutely loves these.
Now, are those the rechargeable battery?
They got little rechargeable batteries in them, and they go in here. And right there is the battery. It just plugs up, and it's got this little plug in there. And you plug it up and slide it back in that little hole. And zip that up. And she's had these a little over a year now, I guess, and she really likes them. She'll run them till the battery runs down, and then we charge the batteries. But
see, those, like we were talking about being thick, I imagine if you're the one actually operating the bike, with awful stiff, thick, hard to.
I can get my hands in these. I mean, they're just super tight, but they're not.
But as far as the passenger, I mean, all they gotta do is just sit there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that'd work out great for them.
That's not too bad of a deal. Now, I'll tell you what I used to do. I'm gonna show my little secret here. And if you laugh, then well, anyway, right here is the best thing I've found to keep your hands warm. Right here. This goes over everything. Your handlebar. Your hand goes up in here. And, well, as you can see, these actually work. They're like for snowmobiles and all that winter stuff.
I'll be honest with you. Every time you wore those, we've all laughed at you, but secretly we all wanted them.
My hands are warm. Now, I will say this. Since I've bought the Road Glide, the 2020 Road Glide, it has heated grips. That's my secret. And before, when I changed the handlebars, instead of putting the stock grips, because you know stock grips, I mean they were heated, but they're just, and they were very expensive. But I thought, you know, I'm gonna do it because once you've had them, it would be tough. And I mean, I'm not kidding you. With these little thin gloves, you know, which my thin ones are right here. I can just reach in there and grab them. The thicker ones are in the back. But what I've noticed, if my hands start getting a little cold, I'll turn that grip on, or the heated grips on. Now this here's toasty, warm. You know, this here's a little cold, but I mean it.
So that's what I was wondering. How would you heat the back of your hand up?
You can't. But I mean, just being warm here is a different sensation. You know. But and the reason I brought that up is because we were talking about gloves. But the heated grips, man. If you,
I mean, that's all part of staying warm and riding when it's cold.
Yeah.
I don't want to put my bike up because it's 35 or 40 degrees.
No, I mean, you know,
if it ain't raining or snowing, let's ride.
Yeah, the video was posted the other day. You know, here it's fall of the year, getting to be fall, leaves are turning, and some people say it's the end of the riding season.
Yeah,
we don't say that here. It's just, I mean, I'll say we don't ride as much.
Well, here in East Tennessee,
right.
Once you get September, October, November,
that's good riding weather.
It could be 80 degrees, or it could be 45.
Yep. So,
and just, I mean, if you don't like the weather here, wait a few minutes.
Yeah, just wait. So, I mean, we rode last year at least a few days in every month.
Yeah.
I know in February I took off, it was 33. We'll get into that on our next series on how I stayed warm and at 33 degrees, but I stayed warm actually. So that's about all I got for hands. What do you think? You got anything else for hands?
What about those little hand warmer packets? I mean,
yes.
You ever use them?
Maddie has. I've never used them. She has this little thing here. Sometimes she'll do. And she got this at the box store. And to be honest with you, I doubt the batteries. Yeah, it's up. So 3 dots I think are on high, and 2 dots and 1 dot's on low. But you'll be amazed. It takes just a couple minutes.
So instead of the whole packet thing to break up and stuff in the gloves, you just turn it on.
Yeah. She's only got 1, but it's pretty. And I don't know. I'd have to ask her, but I think it lasts a pretty good while. But it's already starting to warm up. I mean, feel it there.
So, I mean that would be good for a passenger.
For a passenger, for a rider, you know, you're kind of
you feel it building heat.
You know, but
you could actually use like the thinner Gauntlet glove more for the 45, 50 degree weather and just slide that in it.
Yep.
And that would work out pretty good.
So for some reason the lights turned blue when I done that. Oh, it might be the battery is on 2. Like I said, this is her little deal. I hit again. I don't know how to turn them off. There we go. Quit kicking. Lights go off. So, but that's her deal. She all the time them little hot hands. She wears them, puts them gloves. But since she's bought these, as far as riding, she's always used them there. And then if we're just standing around something, she might grab them and to save the battery on those. So it all depends on the situation and how cool it is.
Yeah. But
the real deal, boys, I'm telling you. I might even pull these things out. It's right there. Yeah, them things are warm, boy. I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell they're thick lines.
There's some kind of fur in there that, and I promise you, you don't get no wind.
Well, where do you get something like that?
I ordered those on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. I've had them. I think I've had them so long. One, it might have been Amazon, but you can look them up, find them. I think they're for a snowmobile, actually, is what they're for. So you can find them on there. I mean, if it's something you want to do, maybe I'll put one on there, or in the beginning of our next video, I'll put one on there. Or maybe we'll snap a picture of it and put it on there on this video. You wanted to see it. Right there it is. Hands out, you just slide them in. You're in your controls. Now you can see right here on this one. And if you wanted to, you can snug it on up a little more. But you'll get a little bit of air in here. But trust me, you need it with these because they knock all the wind off. So there you go. That's the way they hang. To show you kind of what that looks like. But man, they are warm. I had some other tricks up the sleeve, but there's some those hand guards. I had those for a while. I've went off and on with them, and
yeah, I remember you talking about those. You were amazed at how much wind that little small piece of
it
metal
knocks
actually.
a lot of wind off. There's been a couple times that if you wasn't careful and if you put them back a little more, maybe I had it, is I've reached up there to grab a bar real quick or something and went too far and like clipped the edge of the metal with my fingernails, and that kind of hurts. So, but anyway, the biggest reason they're not there now is I got a new camera mount, and I couldn't incorporate it the way it was designed with that. So
modifying it.
So I took those off for right now, and I may put them back after I got to do some cutting, and I don't know really where they're at. I looked at them the other day.
I've noticed
they're here somewhere.
When I change my windshield, the way it kind of slopes in and comes up now, it actually puts the air out right on my hands.
Yeah.
So this winter, it's going to be interesting to see how much air I'm getting on my gloves.
Yeah. So if I could probably be, oh, wait a minute, I know what he'll be going for. But let's be honest with you, if they're coming in there, I mean, you do get some air in there a little bit, but it's not tremendous. If it wasn't, them right there sweat you to death. You gotta have some air. I mean, anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got leather, and then you got that, whatever that fur lining is in it.
Yep. It's awesome. Hope this helped you out. At least confused you a little bit. May help your mind. If you have any questions, be sure to holler at us. We'll answer them the best way we can.
And leave in the comments what you use.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something like that out there that nobody's seen yet that somebody's been using and it's working for them.
I promise you, put these on your bike, you'll be seen.
Oh yeah, everybody will laugh at you, but secretly they'll think, "Man, I wish I had those."
Yeah. That's the way it is.
Yeah, when it's in the 30s.
Yep. I think I wore. Yeah.
So that was the only good thing about riding a kickstart only bike. Once it got down 30s and below, the oil and everything was so thick you couldn't kick it to start it, so you didn't have to worry about riding.
Yeah.
But now, when everybody hops on and pushes that button, you can ride when it's 0.
I like pushing a button. Anyway, speaking of buttons, be sure to like and subscribe and share and all that stuff. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, appreciate
Till
you
then,
watching.
Make sure you always torque the spec.